Okay, so this is the second test. I'm trying to upload that same video that I just uploaded to my Facebook regarding me being hacked because I don't know if they changed the programming. When I was on this phone 2 days ago, it didn't look like that. Now all of a sudden it looks like that. I just find it coincidental. So anyhow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a video here because I've uploaded it twice already. What it tends to do is it does the usual thing where it says preparing video, then it starts uploading, and it goes up to like 5%, and then it jumps back down to 0% and resets, and it goes uploading again. So I find that very weird because I usually watch these videos. I've been watching them since I've been uploading these videos here, and all these videos here, they don't go up 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, then drop back down to 0, and then go 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, because I don't know, it makes you question, like, is this damn thing being hacked, and that's why it drops down to 0%, then is sending somewhere else where, it's being stored where nobody can watch it or something, so the pressure that I'm under to try to save mankind is enormous, and I'm fully aware that these dummies are trying to, prevent me from doing that. My TV show on here is the Predator Killer. The mission of the assassin predator was to capture the fugitive predator's spaceship from delivering the Predator Killer to mankind. So that's on a thing where about the movie Predator. So. The Predator Killer involves me telling my story to mankind to make it go viral so that I can stop, these dumbass predators from coming over here and trying to do something stupid. So if I can't deliver that weapon to mankind via these videos because they're being hacked somehow, and when that thing goes up to 5%, then it drops down to 0%, I'm picturing in my mind like there's a let's say this thing here, you see how there's a T-bone up here? So let's say there's it's like that. So as it's going up, it's like 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. Normally it should go this way: 5%, 6%, 7%, 8%. And get uploaded to the YouTube servers. But in this case, in my mind, I'm picturing it going 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, and then back down to 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, and then 5%, 6%, 7%, 8% over to some hacker server, like, I don't know, the police maybe, or who knows where they're sending it. But to give me the illusion that I have these videos uploaded to YouTube when in fact I don't. And, it's frustrating as heck. So that's what I'm dealing with today, because I'm getting ready to upload these videos, tell my story tomorrow when I wake up. To go down the road to check on my dog to see if he's still alive. This whole war is going to be fought over my dog. And if he dies, when there's advanced evil civilizations out there that can come fix him, and they don't fix him tomorrow at 11 a.m., and the police don't come here the day after that and tell the world that I'm the creator. And if my evil children who used to live in the elemental universe don't come over to protect their creator on the 7th day, they'll be hell to pay if that dog perishes. And if my evil children who started this war don't come back on the 8th day on their hands and knees to fix that dog with delivering UFOs, they'll be hell to pay if my dog dies. It's not my dog, it's my son's dog, but I've grown to love that dog like my own dog. And he's on his deathbed. So, due to all this junk that I just put in my body, very bad guys are trying to get me to now go for a bike ride down the road. By using my dog as a sympathy weapon. Like, they put up a, I seen a little video here, like when I click on my things here, I'll see things here, like down below here. Like that dog there, like that's an indication of the dog, right? Like he's on his deathbed. Okay, so anyhow, on the previous day, I seen a little girl there. She was holding her dog, and it said, my forever friend, right? Like it's supposed to be my forever friend, right? So my forever friend, the girl holding the dog was probably about 8 years old and had glasses on, and I could tell that's a representation of Leia because Leia Musquanis is part owner of that dog. He lives at her place. That's where he is right now. He's down the road at Sabrina's and Leia's and Luke's because he bounced around between homes because my son Minka would stay a lot over at Sabrina's. He began to think that was his home, so he would stay there with Minka, and then sometimes he wouldn't go home. He'd stay there because he liked Leia and Luke. And then he started getting bored over there, so he started coming home to me because he got bored of me over here. So I had to be gone for about 2 or 3 years. That's when he started coming around here. And then I started watching him. And then Sabrina and them got jealous. Like, did you steal my dog? I said, he just came here by himself. I didn't know he was. I thought he was going to stay this long. They were joking around about it. So he'd take him back. So she took him back, and then it became a situation where he would bounce between her place and my place. And then even times he would take off and go to Mingun's place, which is just down the road here. So he'd bounce around between the 3 homes. He'd go here, he'd go there, and then he'd come back here. He'd spend time equally at all 3 homes. He'd leave, he'd come and go here whenever he wanted. I never, there's a song, I forget what it's called. I don't get sad when my dog leaves, I think it's called. Or when my dog dies, I think it is. Anyhow, this thing here, look at that, it's sibling storage. Oh, I will go, what's it called? I don't get sad about the, what's the heck's the name of it again? The lyrics to that song. Because you might get run over or you might get shot. Because you might get run over, you might get shot. But that's the bad guys. The evil humans who control this universe, they had a chance to come here at 11. They didn't bring another UFO. But that's because the androids in charge of telling the humans that they're supposed to do that is they relaying the information. Them androids think I'm unalive. They think I'm dead. They didn't realize that their plan to get rid of me failed last night. If that's the truth, because I don't know what it is, but I'm assuming maybe it is. Who knows? Ah, very corrupt. Why would they want to make me think that I was supposed to perish away last night? Ugh. Oh, I don't maybe drag my feet, but that's what you got, because you might get run over. Well, you might get run over. All over. You might get shot. What is that? What I got? This one's early in the morning, I rise to the street, let me up that cigarette, and I'll strap shoes on my feet. Okay? Got to find a reason. Reason things went wrong. Got to find a reason why my money's all gone. I got a Dalmatian, and I can still get high. So the Dalmatian is Louis. Right? It refers to a fire dog. Right? So I'm the police chief or the fire chief. So it means I have fire as my element. But life was short, so love the one you got. Because you might get run over, you might get shot. That's evil. When you're watching this, evil children out there, your androids in this evil universe are supposed to tell you to get down here today at 11 o'clock, and you're not here. And if androids ain't here tomorrow at 11 o'clock, they're gone too. And then if the police don't issue let's just pull up my calendar. It just makes it a lot easier for mankind to see this stuff so that when, push comes to shove and nobody's around here to save my dog, you don't know why. Today I asked the evil humans to come home. and save my dog at 11 a.m. No, they didn't come home. That's a straight one. They're gone. They're gone forever. But it came to my attention that perhaps it's the androids in this universe that are the problem. So I gave them the ultimatum to come home here tomorrow at 11 a.m. And if they're not here at 11 a.m. tomorrow, they're rolling the dice for some reason. That means that they have another ulterior objective. Same with the humans. So, public record going down. Forever be remembered as the day that the androids sold their souls, is this day. So, when we watch this again in the future, we will watch it. So, the 5th is the day that the androids are supposed to get their souls by coming home to support me and not the other guys. All they gotta do is drive their spaceships here from the moon at 11 a.m. Over my place, Saugeen, Devil's Tower, and over Temecula, where Olivia Rodrigo lives, right? So, if they don't do that, the androids are out. And then I've asked the police, who I know are watching this, recording this video phone as a way to prevent me from delivering the predator killer to mankind, which is these video recordings, so that I'm going to do that. They do that by putting crap on my phone and computer that shouldn't be there. So if you guys don't release that press release here indicating that you have a video recording of your creator to secure your $6 billion payout, you guys are gone too. And then on the 7th, that's this one here. This is for my evil children from the good universe. They used to be good, but at some point in time, evil was able to get into that universe and force them to get down on their knees and join their stupid pedophile revolution. So now everybody in creation are a bunch of dumbass, predators. I got nobody, as far as I can tell. I have to put worst case scenario first. If that's worst case scenario, then I don't have anybody on my team. Not to mention that last night's climax might have just, sucked the life force out of everyone here on planet Earth, allowing you to slowly teleport people's souls into mankind, leaving nobody on this planet at all for me to talk to and help, which means I'm all alone here, with the exception of people who are born going forward, or younglings who don't, have the climax, which allows evil to get rid of them. So, if they've done that as another way to keep me down in this prison, you need to know that I'm fully prepared to wait 25 years for these children to grow up as the next generation to research the scientific facts in my story, to develop my advanced UFOs with heavily advanced railguns to develop or to destroy all the civilizations through all creation. I'm going to use the next generation to build my weapons, is what I'm going to say. If I don't get 100% participation from everyone on planet Earth to defend us against, what do we got here? Seven times 2 is 14 pedophile universes who are trying to get rid of me so they can take this one universe and be pedophiles in it forever and destroy the creator's planet, which I found out today is that there are 1,001 universes, and all those universes, they contain different races. So imagine a universe being created for the Jews. That entire universe has Jew gods in it. Like there's an actual electromagnetism, a mother and father that rule over that universe. And there's South American universe where the electricity in that universe is ruled over by South American gods. There's a Aborigine universe where that universe is ruled over by Aborigines. And there's a Chinese universe. The list goes on and on. Every race that's on planet Earth, you have a universe out there that is yours and yours alone. And in that universe, it's ruled by that set of people. And that set of people, what they do is they build the universe with different sets of people and they populate it. So you could have Native Americans living in an African universe, or you could have Native Americans living in a Chinese universe, or you could have Native Americans living in a white universe. You have Native Americans living in a Middle Eastern universe. So, that to me is fair. It's equal. It's a better way to talk about creation to mankind as opposed to what I was going to sell you, which is that every universe is ruled over by Native Americans. Because that sounds racist and unfair, don't you think? So ask yourself one question. If you could create 1,000 parallel universes, would you create it as your own race? Or would you create it and allow different races to have control over their own universe and then populate it with the people that are out there to be populated with, such as mankind on different races? But have one mom and dad who rule over all those universes. Because that's who I am. I'm that dad that looks after all of those 1,000 universes populated by the various races of the universes. And you need to know that we're living in an African American universe that supposedly turned bad. But that's not 100% true, because it could be any race on planet Earth that we're living in here. So, disclaimer, I'm not saying this is the African American universe. That's just a preliminary investigation from some of the clues that I've got. I've got lots of clues indicating it could be the Asians because of their name, Dynasty, meaning dynasty. So, which is, it doesn't sound like a very nice way to put it, right? But the list goes on and on and on. But I'm not concerned with finding who the troublemaker universe is. Like, it could be the Jewish people. It could be their universe, but that's too obvious, right? It's like, make them out to be the bosses, so that, when it came my turn to blame somebody, I'd say, it's them. That's pointing a finger at a race of people who are more than likely the scapegoats, so I have to find out who it is, because I'm told it's even Native Americans. This is a Cree universe, and it's the Cree Native Americans who are the troublemakers, right? So the list goes on and on, folks. So I don't want to paint the Africans with one brush. You need to know everybody is a suspect in this investigation, and I'm not done the investigation yet. But what I want you to focus on is disregard everything about who it may or may not belong to. I was just using that as an example to get me to where I'm going. They call that shock factor. What? We're living in an African universe and they're the troublemakers? No, but how did that sound? I bet it grabbed your attention. You should see that clue. I gotta show you. It's funny. It's from the thing. It would make you believe that it's a black guy that's in trouble, or the Dave Chappelle skit. Dave Chappelle does a skit. He does a skit about I'll show you now as you go back and look at it. So that's called Clayton Bigsby. So that's where I come up with just a little bit of the investigation. This is the type of investigation I got to do to find out who the troublemaker is. And so if you watch this year, Clayton Bigsby Doesn't See Color Chappelle show. It's about a black guy who doesn't know he's black and wrote 3 books. The Torah, the Quran, and the Bible. So he says on there, just because I'm blind doesn't mean I'm stupid. What, you think I can't read them books? So that simple line is designed to make me analyze the situation and determine if we're living in an African American universe whose spirits are not, come on, they walk around African American, but the spirits that are in control of this universe, I don't know if they're African American. I'm just showing you how I come up with that clue, Africa. Okay, it comes from this, and you have to analyze the stuff in your brain and think, okay, well, if you rewatch this and you say, just because I'm dumb or just because I'm blind doesn't mean I'm dumb. What, you think I can't read the Quran, the Bible, and the Torah? Just because I'm blind doesn't mean I'm dumb. If you look at it from that perspective, that's where I'm coming at it from. So you can understand that's just but one piece of information. The other one is from the thing. Every piece of him was individual animal. So if you go to that, you go to the thing. But let's see, okay? So I would show you this section, but I can't. So because it's copyrighted, right? So yeah, this is the long one here. So if we go to that one, the blood test thing. That's what you want to look up. So what happens there is, and he's talking about the blood test, and he's holding he's seeing Palmer, blah, 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 and got me to thinking that maybe the thing is, he's describing the thing and how every part of it is like an individual person or individual animal. He's talking like that. As the camera pans over, you can hear him talking. He's like, made me think that maybe every individual piece of him was alive. Every little piece was an individual animal. And as he says animal, it's panning across the screen. He says, maybe every piece of him was an individual animal. And there's a big African-American guy sitting in the front of the TV screen and he says, every piece of him was an animal. So I usually hit the rewind. So if you get to that portion and you watch it, he goes, every piece of him was an individual animal. And you see the African-American guy there and the camera pans past him. Double tap your rewind button on the YouTube and then watch it again because you'll hear him talking about it. And then you'll see it again and say, every piece of him was an individual animal. And you look at the black guy's face. It looks like he looks like he's angry. So then you hit the rewind again, and you go back and he's like, maybe every piece of him was an individual animal. And you look at the black guy's face. So I looked at it 3 times. Like, okay, the spirits are trying to tell me that whoever's in charge of this universe must be black. So, that's what I come up with. Just 2 clues, Africa. I'm not saying, world, that it's true. I'm just saying that that's an example of how I come up with my concepts and my stories. So that type of evidence is everywhere. I mean, it's with the it's from Marvel, and Guardians of the Galaxy. I think Guardians of the Galaxy has a race of people called the Kree. They spell it the Kree. We have Krees here, but we spell it Cree. So the list goes on and on and on of who this universe belongs to. But my point being is, when it comes time for me to go viral, I want you to remember this, world. When the aliens try to come here and say that I'm something I'm not, or that people try to say this or that, that guy's Satan, or that guy's the Antichrist. I want you to know that there's 1,001 universes out there. And when science proves that to you, and you see a video on your TV saying, remember those drawings that he gave us there regarding the soul particle and how it looks like? There's a ring, and that the creators want to keep adding to that ring till it creates a giant ball like that. Remember when he said that? It's true. Here's the mathematical equations to prove that, and this is how it came about. Blah, 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 blah. And when you see that on the screen, and you will see it, I want you to not, feel bad about, having a Native American creator here plus a Caucasian, Filipino mother. I mean, like, you'll be like, that's not fair, man. How come they get to be the motherfucker crazy? Because now with this piece of evidence that I just discovered, thanks to smoking crystal meth and doing one more spiritual warfare ceremony, which was actually an assassination attempt on my life. Because when I do this stuff, this time I didn't drink any water for 24 hours, no water. I had barely anything to eat, so I was investigating to see what's going on. I'm trying to investigate something. You want to think of it as I'm supplying fuel to do what I'm doing via fat. I'm burning fat to provide the fuel. So that's not necessarily a good thing because I'm basically using the element death because the fat is energy from death. Death is trying to do something with that fat. So I'm trying to investigate what they're trying to do to see what they're up to. So if I eat food that is healthy for me, like vegetables and stuff like that, to power my vision quest or my spiritual warfare activities, I'm playing with the element life. There's a difference there. I'm playing with life and not death. But because the crystal meth was created by the element death, it means that I'm blending the two. And that might not necessarily be a good thing, because it could be evil's way of trying to get in the back door into that universe of good people by getting me to eat food that is alive, so that they can use the energy of the living food combined with their energy of the element death, which is the fat particles in my body, plus the crystal meth, as a way to bust into that universe and try to take it over and lock every single one of you away on this planet. So those universes, they're your universes. Every single race of you out there has your own universe. And someday you'll be able to go out there and visit your own race and visit your mom and dad in that universe, because you have a mom and dad in those universes. Just because you're from this universe and don't have a mom and dad that identifies with your race, does that mean that you can't travel to a parallel universe and visit that mom and dad in that universe who are your race? In terms of the Jews, who are going to have a broken heart because of, not having a deity mom and dad, know that you do. That's what the promised land is about. There's a universe out there somewhere where I promise you, if you stand by me, and same with you, Middle East, Islam, that all of you have a universe out there that has been promised for you. But you have to stand by me and not the bad guys. You have to help me get there. So, if you stand by me, I promise you that when we develop our spaceships and get rid of evil by developing advanced technology that I'm about to show you, and we go out there and we kill 242 trillion pedophiles by blowing up their planets with railgun technology, and everyone's gone, and evil's gone forever, and the robots are gone and dead forever, then we can fly out to those universes. You can go see your own universes, and you can go meet your mom and dad out there. There's the promised land is out there. You'll be able to go out there and say, go talk to the planet, go spend the night on the planet, and when you fall asleep there, you'll enter a state of lucid dreaming where you'll walk up and say, the creator in our universe said there's a mom and dad on this planet. Yeah, we're over here. Hi, you must be the guys from that African American universe, or Chinese universe, or is it Cree? Did Anthony ever quite figure out whose universe that belongs to yet? Because it's quite difficult. It's not easy trying to figure out that information, mankind. Had I not gotten high, I wouldn't be telling you the story. It's a missing puzzle piece in my book that's not in the book. I never thought of it that way. It's in the book that the universes are, that we were only living in one universe. So if I didn't get high, I wouldn't have discovered that, no, there's a multiverse. So it's funny how the information comes about, but it comes about from spiritual warfare, which requires sometimes doing things that you don't like doing. But that doesn't mean that I'm not a good person. So one of these days we'll get to the bottom of it. So I thought I'd put this video out here first before you guys get into my book, because it's nice to know this information up front, because it'll help you from preventing you saying something that you might regret. Try to digest the information, and now before you go shooting your mouth off and saying something you might regret, remember that, you Jewish people out there, you have your own universe. And I'm not just saying one universe. Because there's 1,000 universes, there could in theory be 1,000 different races out there. But, what if there's 500 races, If there's 500 races and there's 1,000 planets, then that means that the Jewish people would have 2 universes ruled by Jews as spirits, like the energy in the universe that's ruled by Jewish spirits. So, if they have 2 universes, you could go pick and choose which universe you want to visit. You can visit them both, simply by flying in a spaceship. It's the same with you, Middle East, and anyone on planet Earth who may be questioning their faith. So, if you're finding it hard to picture that, I don't know if I have my pictures, but Let's look up what an atom looks like. Okay, that might help your mental imagery. I think it's called the heaviest, largest atom. We'll just call it now. Largest atom. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Images, right? We're going here, so. Okay, you see that thing there? So I want you to picture these things here as being the 16 soul particles, those blue things, rotating around the universe. As it is in my story, I only had one universe in the center. There's not. There's 1,000, and there's a ring like this, a ring that goes around like this. There's a ring here that goes like this. Okay, so there's only one ring there with 1,000 universes. But if you look at that big ball of mass there, that's what we're trying to get to. Because the soul is a quantum subatomic particle, like an atom. So we need to create more and more life. When we do that as creators, by having fraternal twin pregnancies across the multiverse, like eight universes, so that those 8 universes can birth in another universe. And in that universe, I'm assuming whichever frequency pattern they picture in the mind would determine what type of spirit comes into existence, such as a Jewish spirit, or a Middle Eastern spirit, or a South American spirit, or a Chinese spirit. And the grandmother and grandpa of all creation see, okay, they're working on another universe. They need a different kind of spirit, so they create that kind of spirit for that universe, and then that universe is forever that universe, like a Jewish universe, or a Middle Eastern universe, or African universe. So life goes on, carries on. So I don't quite know how long it's going to take to create that big ball of master science, but there's a ring already. Like picture a ring like that, and it's almost complete. But now we have this issue here where there's a one universe that decided to turn evil to try and take over all those other universes, and in the process created me. I'm the time cop. I'm the only man in all creation that has the animal soul, or the planet is his soul, and the moon. All those particles are mine because I'm the time police. I'm the time cop. I'm able to control time, because whatever happens, if this shit happens again in another universe of people decide to turn evil, when we almost, let's say we almost get to that particle mass there, and all of a sudden we need one more universe to fill the void, to pack it in, and all of a sudden that universe decides to turn evil and try to take over the whole ball. What do we do then? Because we're isolating this universe using electromagnetism, so that it's not touching anywhere. So it's a universe by itself. The magnetism of those 1,000 universes is basically keeping it in the middle of those universes from touching the good universes, which is isolating it. But the minute we're able to almost fill that universe, if the last universe that pops into existence decides to turn evil, like, well, we heard the stories, those guys over there tried to take over the universe before, but they failed. Then somebody else gets the brilliant idea to try to take over the universe again. They could say, hey, we're on the last universe. The ball is almost complete. Why don't we turn evil and give it a shot like before? But don't you know, when you do that, you got to turn pedophile? Because that's the plan that they came up with. So, without cloning, that's what happens. Then you end up creating an AI who becomes an idiot. Yeah, I know, but this is that universe was not touching the universe. This one is, man. We might be able to take over the whole giant ball, and the whole giant ball will be belong to evil forever and ever and ever. So, what the hell are you supposed to do then when that happens in 100 trillion years from now? If there's no time cop that cannot control time in all those universes to rewind time in case there's an assassination on the creator's lives, that theoretically could happen. So that's why I'm here, to make sure that in the future going forward, when we as a collective unit build that big ball of the universes and put it together in our souls, so that we have a nice home to live in, where it's ruled by many different gods. And if you want to thank India for that, because India believes in there being millions of different gods. They have a very open concept. You might want to check it out. It's called Hinduism. So their religion is based on what I'm showing you here, and that there are thousands of universes, or there will be tens of thousands of universes, if not millions of universes. I don't know how many it's going to take to fill that ball. And once it's complete, those universes will be ruled by the different races of mankind and the universe. There theoretically could be black Asian people out there. I don't know what else, but I know there ain't little green men. So so now when you look at that mask, I want you to know this, Israel. You have your own universe out there already. You just haven't seen it. That's the promised land. I'm saying with you guys in the Middle East who may have trouble swallowing this bitter pill of a Native American being the creator. Because these dummies are going to try to come over and say that I'm something I'm not. I'm just a human, just like you and I. But I'm the time police. And I'm serious when I say I am. Something happens to me. There's a lot that can happen. That the universe can come down and shock us to death. And because I'm pure, I'll survive. I can rewind time here. Because the sun is my soul. The planet is my soul. And the moon is my soul. And since this solar system is powered by the black hole at the bottom of the sun, guess what happens if I perish? I'll have to rewind time using the sun. And that's something you don't want, because that causes a great deal of electricity to flow to that black hole. And in the process, if you're impure, you'll die. Your soul will be shocked. And when I stop rewinding time, you'll be dead on the ground because you're impure. Because you got shocked. I'm talking to my imposter children who are here because they've quantum teleported, their consciousness via a subatomic particle. What you're looking at here is, and say that little one there in the corner there is a person's electron. Everything in creation exists inside of that. So they quantum teleport that little particle inside of you when you climax. And then they teleport another one inside you on your last climax when you die. So you got two of these particles in there pretending to be somebody they're not. That's what'll get shocked, guys. Those two particles will get shocked to death and you'll die. You'll be gone. And half of mankind that's sleeping, if not the whole planet who's sleeping, will suddenly wake up and wonder what the heck's going on. They'll be, what happened? Last thing I remember is climaxing. Oh, yeah, me too. Me three. The entire planet will have a mass awakening. If evil was successful in getting me to get rid of everyone because of the crystal meth warfare, we could stand to lose the entire planet. You guys will be put to sleep, and the real people that you're impersonating will come back to life if the entire planet is gone. But I've been told it's not the entire planet, just half. And I've also been told it's not the entire planet, or half, but rather a third. So I don't know the exact number, but imagine that happening because somebody drops a nuke on me or blows me up because they think I'm something I'm not. So that's why I'm doing this quick video, to try to smooth things over, show you a different perspective, so that when somebody watches this video and says, you heard about that guy that's going viral, eh? What do you think about him? Ha! That guy, he's Satan, man. My book tells me he's Satan. It predicts it. He's the Antichrist. Stuff like that, right? But when you see this video now, and people who watch this and say, hey, what he's talking about, especially the scientists, they're gonna foam at the mouth over this. I'm like, now we know how a parallel universe works. Totally shit. Let's get to the mathematics on this one. All right, so you guys are sitting there now scratching your heads. That's how it works. You can see it now, though, I bet, right in your mind. Because you now know that there's the atom at the top, then the quark, and then the soul, right? So you're looking at a soul particle, basically. But the nucleus is not complete yet. It needs more parallel universes attached to it. So as you guys are watching this, and you may have a friend, a brother, a mother, a sister, whatever it may be, in your face, make sure you tell them to, shh, analyze the data. You don't want to wreck your chances of getting to eternity. Because if you say something stupid about me, because I'm the grandfather of all creation, I rule over everything, I won't let you into paradise. That's paradise. That's where we're going. And if you don't want to get in there, then say something stupid about me, like I'm Satan, or that I did something that you don't agree with. Because that's blasphemy. Because you don't understand my story. You need to take time to weigh all the facts before you can go shooting your mouth off about somebody that you have no idea about. Just because your book says this doesn't mean that. You know what I mean? You have to analyze both sides of information, like I've always been saying. Be a good jury member. Listen to all the facts, to what both sides have to say, before you convict somebody for something that you perceive to be taught to you, which is a lie. So, where was I going with this one? I don't click on the ball with something. So, I usually like to tie this with something. Let's go to I'm gonna go to it's called Into the Spider-Verse. Okay, so you now know what the soul portal looks like. That's what the soul portal looks like. But there's a ring there. It looks like that. Like there's a 1,001 universes like that, but they're almost ready to touch. So if I was to overlay that on that thing there, that diagram, that's what it looks like this. There's 1,000 universes there. It's ready to touch down like that and create the ring. And then once we have the ring, then we can start building a ball like that to create the soul particle. And fill it with all the various races of mankind. Now that you know the truth, it's fair, it's equal, and everyone has their own universe. Go easy on me. Have some sympathy for me. Or I'll lay your soul to waste. Come on, guys, it's not that hard to sympathize. I know who you think I am. This is the song I want you to listen to, and please have some sympathy for me, okay? He's not real, but if he were, he'd be the guy that I'm fighting. Fighting to try to come back home, okay? Here's another concept for you. I just got done doing a speech earlier this morning where I said, I'm being labeled as Satan, but I'm trying to initiate a surrender of the bad guys, as, I guess, Satan, right? Who's labeled me as a bad guy. So, look at this concept. If Satan was trying to make a phone call home to God, to bring all his demons home, and say, I surrender, can you please come back to the family? If he was to do that through a dialogue, like talking, trying to talk normal, talk to the people, to God, should he be afforded that opportunity? And then vice versa. What if there was a big lie and God was the bad guy? And I'm trying to talk to God and Satan to initiate a peaceful settlement of this supposed war that took place in heaven. And you can look at it from both sides. If I'm Satan, who wants to come home, and he's the good guy, I'm trying to still initiate conversation with him. And if I'm the good guy, who is God, trying to initiate a message with Satan, who's the bad guy, I'm doing that in a peaceful, resolute way where I'm trying to get him to come to the bargaining table by using, the threat of death or being unalived if they don't do what I want them to do, because that's what's going to happen. If people don't change who are evil, they can't join that big ball that I just showed you. They can't be a part of that because they're evil. And if you guys want to roll that dice tomorrow and don't give me my UFOs to save my dog, I want you to know that that's what awaits your future. So, look at it that way. To try to get through the supernatural black magic side of stuff that these evil morons have planted in your head as a way to assassinate me. Only I can't die, because if I do, I'll just be my dying. So. I drink some bottle of water, but I need some real water, man. I talked about this earlier when I got home. I'll show you the video after. These guys trying to get me to eat junk. I'm going to talk about that in my next video. I just got tired chicken, this whole bowl of pop, bag of chips, a whole hunk of cheese. That stuff is devil food, man, and I'm not the devil. I wouldn't eat that crap. If I could afford to, I'd be eating, eat healthy, man. I'd be eating God's food, but I can't right now because I'm broke because of a joke. So, when I begin to go viral, get some money generated on YouTube. That's when I can afford to eat healthy and save the day. So, what I mean is, if two supreme deities are trying to have a conversation, and you're labeled as the children of one of those supreme deities, is it up to you to kill somebody because you perceive them to be a threat? When you're supposed to be the children and let those two people deal with the issue themselves. You're sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, is what I'm telling you. And if you do that, I'll lay your soul to waste. So have a little sympathy for me. Because you're just my children. And when somebody's trying to deal with an issue peacefully, and you go and stick your nose in there because it's evil's plan to manipulate you by forcing you to be born in this shithole that is a prison, my prison, and I'm finally busting out of here. You need to think twice about, should I pull that trigger or not? I think he's saying that. I know it. I just know it. You need to think clear with a clearer head. That's why I'm making this video. I'll show you the universe so you can get a better concept in your mind of what I'm talking about, and then try to understand it. Like, don't you understand that? Yeah, he may have done these bad things that you may not agree with, but he's telling you straight to his face why he did them and what it achieved by doing it. I wouldn't have showed you that atomic model and came up with this new theory if I didn't do that bad thing last night. So, something positive came out of it, right? So, I would have known, and you would have known that the Jews have their own universe. So the Muslims, all those different races, like the Iran people, the Iraq people, Afghanistan people, Pakistan people, you guys all have your own universe. The Indian people, everybody does. So if you can't see that, you need help, man. It's like you want girls out there, talk to your husband, say, just shut up for a moment. What the hell he's talking about? Can't you see what he just showed you came about from a negative? He turned a negative into a positive. Didn't you learn that in grade school? Yes, he is a negative here, but he's telling you that he's turning positive because he needs all the information. He's got all the information that he has. And he's leaving that aspect of him behind. They call that honesty. If I'm Satan the deceiver, how the hell can I be, Anthony the honest? I can't be both. So somebody who's honest should be trusted, is what I'm trying to teach you. So, and sometimes, honest people get a bad rap. They try to be honest for what they're doing, but people turn around and turn that honesty into negativity. Yeah. So, do you see that there? That's you females. You know what a widow is, right? It's a female, the wife of a dead husband. A BAE with a BAE is acronym for before anyone else. Before anyone else. So widows BAE, that means widows before anyone else. So if this is the females of theology and this is the males of theology, it means men before anyone else, because God, Yahweh, and Allah is your BAE before anyone else. And if you don't pay attention to what I'm trying to teach you here, and you follow that apple up there in the garden. Because these dummies come over here with some chumped up tape that says I'm Satan, and you believe it. And you follow that before anyone else to your demise. You only have yourself to blame while you leave your wives widows, leave you behind, while the rest of us get to the promised land of that big ball of universes that has yet to be created because there's only 1,000 of them there. Do you understand what I'm saying now? Anyhow, let's go back over here. Oh, down 15%. Let's start plugging my phone. Okay, so here's so. Because you might get run over or you might get shot, you know, because you might get run over or you might have your soul laid to waste. So, never start no static. I just give up my chest. So, never had the battle with no bulletproof vest. Take a small example. Take a tip from me. Take all your money, give it all to charity. That's what I'm trying to do, right? So, love is what I got within my reach. The question is, you know, can you let go of love over here to embrace love over here? The way I'm trying to do that is give you a Caucasian mother. And right now, the one I'm pursuing to do that is Olivia. That's the one I started out with. That's the one I plan on finishing with. But things happen, you know, lives change. So, this and that, right? So, in the event that it doesn't work out between us, well, I can marry anyone on planet Earth. And, you know, yeah, if planet Earth is all asleep, that means I have to wait 22 years for this next generation to grow up before I can marry one of the new generation of girls. And that's something I'm willing to do. So they're the generation that are going to figure out my science. If if evil was successful in their plan to get me to harm mankind by harming their souls by using crystal meth in a climax. So, what I'm saying is, truth needs to be told. And I don't know. I'm trying to get that from evil by surrendering so I can know what's going on. We can all get to paradise together. We can all get to that big ball together. Forever and ever and ever, and nobody ever gets left behind. But no, them guys are dummies. They keep rolling the dice. They rolled it today. They didn't bring the UFOs. They're going to roll it again. They won't bring the UFOs. On the next day, they won't bring the UFOs. So let's go back over there now. Nope. It's July 4th. The evil humans are supposed to surrender here because it's, Jew lie. The aliens that are going to come here and pretend to be the Jew lie. Because you guys have a universe somewhere else out there. Everyone on planet Earth has their own universe. And that's something that they probably aren't going to tell you. Or if they did, they're going to say that I'm the troublemaker. And they're the time police or something like that. But I'm the time police. So, they have a plan to come here from the moon. But, that only works if their spaceships work. And they don't. Everything in this solar system is now controlled by me. The sun is my soul, the planet is my soul, and the moon is my soul. Nothing is getting into this solar system. As long as I live, they'll get in there. Like, I could live for probably another 100 years because once I start eating healthy, I'm going to reverse age my body. And I'll live forever because I'm pure. I can sit in this hole forever. And just rewind the hours of my body because I'm the creator. I can reverse age my body and never get old. What I'm telling you is that because the particles are my soul and that stuff, I'm going to destroy evil by eating healthy. And if anybody shoots me or tries to unalive me, it happens instantly. But what I want to make a point is that there's no UFOs coming here to pretend to be anybody. They can't because I control the solar system. So, if you're expecting a UFO invasion, you ain't getting it. It's supposed to happen on July 4th. But they didn't show up today. Grandmother wants to make an example of these idiots, and I'll show you why. She asked for UFOs to come on July 4th. And these clowns rolled the dice again. And they didn't deliver the product. So she's going to give these morons one last shot on the 8th to come home before she makes them look like an idiot for selling their souls. And all they had to do was come fix my dog. This is why she wants to make them look like fools. There's your grandmother right there. What's that say on there? 3 students gone. I wonder who those 3 guys are, eh? That's the one I want you to watch right here, okay? Oh, you watch that. It's Independence Day. This is the day that the pedophiles are supposed to forever remember. It's the day they surrendered and got to eternity with the rest of mankind. They didn't surrender. And they get... Now, under grandmother's laws, they're gone forever. But they get one more shot on the 8th to come home. This was supposed to be the day that we forever remember, the day that Anthony was successful in negotiating a surrender using his phone of evil. But no, they want to continue to gamble until nothing is left of their existence. Because they didn't show up today, the next people who are being asked to come up tomorrow, these are humans. And it was supposed to be a human day. They didn't show up because the androids in this universe which we live in didn't tell the humans that they were required to come here. I, having total control of the universe, asked for UFOs to come here at 11. From the moon, I was going to open up the invisible electromagnetic radiation so they could send the UFOs here at 11. And I told the androids to tell the humans to issue the order to those UFOs on the moon to come here. I only need 3 of them. And I didn't get them. So the exact same order is being issued tomorrow to the androids of this universe. You are required to show up here tomorrow with 3 UFOs to negotiate a peaceful surrender to this war. And if you don't show up, androids, you ain't getting a soul. 8 universes of androids will be gone because you decided to roll that dice. And that come here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Oh, that's why we were supposed to celebrate today. It's the day Grandma wanted to bring him home. No, nobody showed up. Anybody out there want to take a running bet whether these androids want to live forever, whether they're going to come here tomorrow at 11 a.m.? They're supposed to be here tomorrow. And anybody want to take a running bet about the police who are supposed to issue a press release on the 6th indicating they got videotape of the creator on the 6th to collect $6 billion for the 6 police officers who are recording his phone and getting ready to set me up by putting shit on my phone or my computer that I didn't look for or download so that they can frame me and throw me behind bars so that I cannot deliver the predator killer to mankind, which are these YouTube videos. And on the 7th, anybody want to take a running bet about my evil children who used to be good, who I'm assuming the elemental universe got into that universe and corrupted them. By corrupting them, they're now pedals, just like the other guys. So if you guys watching this, don't come here to save your mom and dad because you were forced to become pedophiles by those real pedophiles. You're gone too. And last but not least is these clowns here on the 8th who didn't show up here on the 4th over here. You were supposed to be here at 11 o'clock. 11 a.m. to save my dog. He didn't show up. You got one last chance to come here on the 8th to save my dog if he's still alive. Because if that dog perishes, everybody who's evil is gone. I will not let you break my son's heart. You're supposed to be here to prevent that dog's demise so that my son doesn't have a broken heart and so that you can fix his mother, who is my mother, so that he doesn't have a broken heart, because she's dying of congestive heart failure. It's a matter of time. It's theoretically possible that the loss of that dog is going to accelerate the damage in her heart from a broken heart. And perhaps maybe on the 9th, 10th, or 11th, or 12th, she'll die of a broken heart because the dog died. Because you couldn't come here to fix my damn dog. What are you going to do when you let the creator's mother die and let his dog die? Do you think there'll be hell to pay, kids? Because there is. It's coming. So I'm going to ask you one more time, kids. Give me what I want. Surrender. And it says peacefully. Androids, 11 a.m. Police, 11 a.m. This police, if they set that up, if they tell that they have video of the creators, this should set up here, give these kids here the bravery they need to defect from their pedophile overlords. And if the pedophile overlords see that their children are abandoning them, then they might have the balls to come here on the 11th to finally surrender. And that's grandmother's master plan. And it all started on July 4th. So that you guys can connect all the dots. So this year is 8th, which is, see you next Wednesday. So you need to, where's it at? It's not actually, it's just next Tuesday. This is a John Landis thing, I think. Yeah, I think so. He uses that in some of his movies. See you next Wednesday. That's grandmother. She expects you, evil troublemakers in this universe, whichever race you may be, to get your ass home at 11 a.m. Fix my dog and fix my mom and surrender. So that everyone in creation can celebrate and nobody has to die. And if you want to continue to keep gambling, go right ahead and see where it gets you, dummies, man. I guarantee you, you're not going to make it. See you next Wednesday. All right, so. That's the Grandmaster plan, bro. You now know why we're in a war with a bunch of dummies who got a chance to live forever and ever and ever. And all they had to do was, give me my UFOs. But no. They wanted to get into the gamble with their lives. I know they're watching. I know they're listening. There's no reason why they should be here other than the fact that they're too evil to change mankind. And when you don't see these UFOs, I believe it was at 3 p.m. I issued the orders. No, 11 a.m. I issued the order. The reason why we're carrying on without them is we can't trust them. We can't trust people that we can't take into paradise, into that big ball of universes, who want to be pedophiles instead of being normal human beings. And now have to be put down like a mad dog. So learn lesson from these losers who had a chance to live forever and ever and ever. And the robots could have got their souls, but no, they want to continue to gamble. How long has this been going on, evil? How long have you been gambling? And gambling and gambling and gambling. Well, that shit comes to an end, doesn't it? Why did they do that too? I had that saved. There it is. Well, let's have a look outside there, mankind, and see if, these evil, vile, disgusting pedophiles want to come home. People hiding behind the veil of evil brought me a UFO today to see if they want to come home forever. No, they didn't. Wow. Huh. I wonder what that means. I guess they want to roll the dice, I guess, you know. Anyhow, it's been documented, mankind. You now know why we're in a war with a bunch of dummies who had a chance to live forever and ever and ever, and the robots could have got their souls, but no, they want to continue to gamble with their souls, with their lives. I even put on closed captions, so I know these guys are watching. I know they're reading. There's no excuse why they're not here, other than the fact that they're too evil to change, mankind. And when they don't show up here at, I believe it was 3 p.m. 11 a.m. Right? 11. 4 11s. They got 4 chances to get here. And I gave them the ultimatum. If they're not here by 3 p.m., the reason why we're getting rid of them is because they're pedophiles who are addicted to doing crystal meth and have been doing it for 200,000 years and just don't want to give that shit up and want to continue to do it forever and ever and ever. And that ain't happening, man. Because we can't take people we can't trust into paradise. It's a learning example for you too, mankind, because if you open your mouth against me, I can't trust you. And you won't be joining me either. So learn from the mistake of these losers and keep your mouth shut, mankind. Otherwise, you won't be joining us in paradise like them. You won't be joining us in that big ball of neutrons. In paradise, where each and every one of your races owns a universe there, man. Don't you want to see what that universe looks like? Ruled by your race? I sure as hell know I would. So please, shh. Let all the facts hit the table. That may take years. You may have to bite your tongue for years, but I guarantee you, after all the facts are laid out, and you bite your tongue, and you review everything, and make up your mind whether or not you want to live or die forever, it'll be the best decision of your life. So bite your tongue a little bit, and read some of the facts that I have to tell you, and watch some of the stories that I'm about to tell you, because it can make a difference between life or death. What I have to teach you means the difference between whether you get to live forever or disappear into the potter's earth. So watch that one now. Who's talking about? I'm your teacher. And what I'm trying to teach you very well means the difference between life or death. So now, that's me. See that one there? I don't even know what that one is there. Let's check it out. Some of these videos are so old that I forget. I guess I'm saying goodnight. See, James, I love you, but to who? Is it Jen? Is it Leia? No, I think it's the androids. I'm a little bit tired now, so it's been a long day. I'm gonna go to sleep. When you see me put that bear cartoon on, that's for you kids out there. All my kids. Me and Grandma, we put that on for you guys to let you know that you're loved. It's for all the kids. If you're wondering why that bear cartoon comes on, it's for you guys. It's a song. It's a good night song. So like when I'm going to sleep, I don't put it on all the time, but when I do, that's what it's about. It's when I say goodnight. The bear represents her because she's a mother, and that's why the little bear is beside her. I'm the owl in the tree that waves at you, that goes like that. That's me. So I'm going to put that song on so you kids can know, now you know what it's finally about. And then I usually put a movie on. When you see me put a movie on, it usually has to do with the day's lessons. When mankind watches this videos, it'll make a lot more sense because you can hear the sound. And at some point, when we get the sound up and running for you guys safely somehow, you can probably go back and watch it from the beginning of the Vision Quest while you guys are getting purified. Because that's going to take at least 7 years. And I've been on this for 7 years. So you can probably might be able to hear me talk one day, and you can understand everything that you're watching here, but you really can't understand because there's some times where I use those words to try to say something to you, and I stopped doing that because the spirits were tricking me. They're very good at what they do. They knew I was communicating with you through those words, and they stopped it. So when I put the movie on, I'll put the closed captions on so you can at least read what the characters are saying. So what's going on is, I'm not 100% certain if the people that I'm trying to communicate this to, such as the androids, actually hear me, because the spirits in the phone might not send that signal over to them. And it's why I'm not getting my UFOs. If I'm getting upset and angry at these androids, or just looking at me, seeing my mouth move, but not hearing the closed captions down below, that could be the reason why. The androids just sitting there and watching me move my mouth around, and doesn't understand what I'm saying, because the spirits in the phone are not letting the sound go over there. And therefore, I need to redo a video, probably after this video, and say, "Hey, dummy, can you hear me now? Get your ass over here, because tomorrow you're going to die if you don't come over here." He could be wondering what's going on, right? So that's some, it goes here, right? If they speak English, they should be able to understand my closed caption. Can you hear me now? Right? That's, I think it's Verizon. So I'll do another short video after this one with what needs to happen, because the android can be watching me right now, but the android doesn't know what the hell I'm saying, because the spirits in the phone are hacking it so that he can't hear my voice. So later on, I'm done this video, I'll do another video where I'm going to tell the android what I was pointing at there in the calendar, saying, you got to get here by 11 tomorrow, because if you don't have the conversation with your overlords, the human stuff, everybody's going to die if my dog dies. I haven't been using the closed captions in over a year, probably since that last video. So maybe they aren't aware that they're supposed to come here. So I do everything in my power, mankind, to make sure that this message gets sent out. It's of most urgency that these androids in this universe understand what I'm saying. And to do that, I have to put the closed captions on. That'll be my next video. So when I do that next video, you'll see me try to send a message out to the androids who could possibly be watching me but not understanding what I'm saying, because there's no words for them to read. So they carry news that must get through. That's No Quarter, I believe, by Led Zeppelin. Now, there's my future wife there. What are you smiling at? That's your spirit from down below, smiling around. She's got a nice smile on her face. Like, as I'm speaking here, she can hear me because she's living in the phone, right? So, Olivia's fans select one new favorite. So, I had a discussion with your fans, because they influence your decision to get with me. When they learn that you're the new mother of all creation, they don't like what I did to save them, and they influence your choice to get with me. And you'd rather be famous and rich and represent that small portion of a piece of pie that you got. It's like, you don't want to let your fans down, in other words. You take what they're telling you, which is, I don't like that guy, Olivia. I don't like that guy, Olivia. Because you don't want to let go of your fame and fortune, I'm assuming, and lose your fans. So you do what they tell you to do, which is not get with me. And then you don't get with me. And that forces me to get what's there. So I think your fans are they're selecting a new favorite mother. I believe that they're going to support you this time. And they should support me as well, hopefully. That's what that means. Fans select new favorite. One. One is they're taught that there's one God and he's male. One man, all these female girls have been raised up in their churches and stuff saying that a man made everything. And now all of a sudden here I come and say, no, a mother made everything. And that girl there standing right there, she's the new mother of everything, of all those universes out there. So when these fans hear that Olivia stands to become the mother of that big ball of universes inside our souls, which could take 100 million years, 100 trillion years to make, they now have a new favorite mother creator instead of God. This one here means God, because there's only one God in your religions. So Olivia fans select a new favorite God. Olivia fans select a new favorite goddess. That's what it means. So I must have had a breakthrough there with that universe speech, because in the past video, they weren't going to support you. They were going to, roll me under the bus and toss me away like a piece of garbage. So, the best quote in history. I'm assuming the thing about the universe is the best quote in Star Trek line. Right? You guys need to hear that. Because the entire planet hearing that you all have your own universe out there and that you can fly to it like Jean-Luc Picard here, you literally can. The technology that I have, we're not going to be flying around in primitive technology. It's going to be like this, man. You can go anywhere. So, anyhow, so we're going to look for No Quarter, I believe it's called. Yes, we got one here. These ones here, they're not subject to copyright because it's not a website. It's Google itself. So, close the door, put out the light. I've done that. They can't come and go here now because I control the sun. They won't be home today. So the stuff like the winter store really cold. So they are wearing steel that's bright and true. They carry news that must get through. They choose the path where no one goes. So I'm carrying news that must get through. And if the spirits in this phone are hacking it so that my voice isn't reaching the androids who are watching this, or the AI who's watching it, then my message can't get through. And that could be why I'm not getting my UFOs here, because the closed captioning, I've shut that stuff off. So I'm going to redo another video where I'm straight to the point and say, get over here by 11. Otherwise, it's Kaputskis for everybody. So, it means, mankind, Anthony's wearing steel that's bright and true. Anthony carries news that must get through. Because I don't think anybody knows what I'm saying here. I have to do as much investigation as I can, mankind, to get that message out to them. So that I can have my UFOs here tomorrow, or on the 8th, or on the 7th, to prevent my dog from dying, which sets up an event where it breaks my son's heart, and it breaks my mother's heart, and accelerates her congestive heart failure, leading to her death and her demise, which fuels my rage to get revenge. And I do get revenge. And grandmother's plan to bring everyone home peacefully so that no one has to die gets shit out the window because you guys are too stubborn to come home. Because you want to be pedophiles who get high on crystal meth forever. No quarter means that we don't hold no prisoners. We don't take no prisoners. And we won't put up with no bullshit. So, if you don't surrender, mankind is going to be my sword. And we won't put up with your nonsense. No quarter. We're stuck in this little bubble. And we'll develop the technology to go out there and decimate your evil civilizations. Or they'll allow me to buy my soul to somebody. And our first pregnancy, which will birth into existence, what was that I called you before? Oh yeah, a secret galaxy on the far side of the universe that is only connected by another black hole that can only be reached by a barrier that only the good grandmother can do. So even if you got into the elemental universe, you still couldn't cross that barrier, evil. What I'm telling these guys is there's another galaxy on the other side of the universe that's only birthed into existence through a time paradox, through the birth of me and Olivia Rodrigo's, or me and Stairs' baby, or maybe me and Leia, Miss Gladys's baby. Through a time paradox. It means whoever I choose as new mother, when we get pregnant, however long it may be down the road, the first baby that we have is what we use to bring in a new galaxy online into this universe. And then we create a key to that universe. So basically, you want to think of this as the universe? So over here is a galaxy full of people, and there's one over here where we are. But this one over here is where evil chased our kids to. So this galaxy here was birthed because of a baby that has yet to be born. So the way into that universe, if I use this little thumbnail here, is if evil chased people into that universe as a way to take over the universe, they would have went into that universe, and then that secret black hole, it's not connected to the black holes in there, is what I'm saying. So if it's not connected to the black holes in there, it's a standalone black hole. One black hole is grandmother, so one black hole, picture to see, well, one big black hole in there is grandmother, and one big black hole in this universe is grandfather. So there's a grandfather here and a grandmother there, right? But they're not connected to either universe. And then there's a hole in the wall here where the atoms are. So that they can pass that electromagnetic wave through to create a galaxy here. So there's a hole in your crystal meth ice wall, which you think is a prison. There's an atom in there that is impure and untouchable because of the electricity passing through it keeps it pure. It's direct current coming from grandmother. So that direct current coming from there comes this way. You can't push it that way no matter what you do. No matter how evil you are, or how good you think you are. It powers that universe. It keeps it good. And it flows through your evil ice wall. So if you go to the galaxy, how many is it? So if you go, let's use this here. So you see how there's a thing like that? Okay, so that barrier there is the universe's walls. And let's say that L is a black hole, and that W is a black hole. That L is grandmother, a standalone black hole in the elemental universe that doesn't touch anything at all. And you can't get to it with your current spaceship technology because you're so primitive. And over here is a grandfather black hole that you can't get to because your spaceships are so primitive. But there's a connection from the L to there. And that's the galaxy that I'm going to birth into creation when I get with Olivia Rodrigo. So that they can build my spaceships, which they already have. And I've already flown them here. And are in the Arctic Ocean at the bottom of the sea, ready to come out of there on the 9th. If you believe what I'm telling you. I don't know. Does it make sense? I hope so, because grandmother has seen me get angry at you kids over and over again and try to, I get frustrated, like, if my mother here is scheduled to pass away on the 10th, let's say, when Louis passes away on the 9th from whatever complications he has, my mother hears about that and gets a broken heart, she could probably pass away on the 10th because she goes to bed with a broken heart and is crying herself to sleep because she lost her dog. And then she dies on the 10th. So to prevent her demise on the 10th, because Louis dies on the 9th, because you idiots would have come here on the 8th to save my dog, what if those UFOs from that galaxy that grandma and grandpa put there through a time paradox, through me and Olivia Rodrigo getting pregnant, are what becomes your downfall? because they have superior technology that can cross that barrier that you can't cross. There's a barrier there that requires being able to ride a wave of electromagnetism using hydrogen, which you can't do. You don't have that technology. So, if the grandmother of all creation doesn't want to see my heartbreak, or my son's heartbreak, or my mother die, my dog's on his deathbed because he's not eating, and I'm asking you to come here on the 8th, and you don't come here on the 8th, is it possible that on the 9th here, there's some UFOs that either arrive here from that galaxy or are already here on the moon? So, those spaceships, they don't ride on the wave of visible electromagnetic radiation, so they can fly here whenever they want. I'd like to believe myself that that's the case, because I've learned over 10 years not to get my hopes up. And I don't. Because I'm still investigating mankind. Every time I make these videos, it goes nowhere. But because this video is a prophecy about a possible alien invasion from evil pedophiles coming here to surrender, on the 5th tour, androids, or on the 7th tour, my evil children from who got taken over in the elemental universe, or evil children here who is 8th. As a prophecy, it means the evidence is there to allow the spaceships to come here, because they can't come here without a video on YouTube from the creator saying, hey, watch out, there's a possible alien invasion coming for your planet. Because you didn't come to my planet to save my dog, which ultimately ended up breaking my mother's heart, leading to her ultimate demise. So if we scale this back to here, if you didn't get into that universe because of, there being a separate black hole and separate star or separate black holes for the stars in the elemental universe, was a separate black hole for the galaxy here, and separate black holes to form the stars. It makes you wonder. Because the galaxy's been there since the beginning. So let's just say that the baby, what that does is it breaks the chain from the galaxy, the visible electromagnetic radiation. So if this is the edge of the universe, and that number 11 is that galaxy, and the number 10 is the galaxy that's connected to that galaxy with invisible electromagnetic radiation, well then, the baby cuts this chain here and cuts the chain in the other universe, making it separated like that. So that at the beginning of time, or when you chase the guys in there, you can't chase them into this secret base of operations, which is a galaxy a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, on the other side of the universe. As an entire 1,400 planets worth of people who you thought you chased into the elemental universe, and then came out over here, back into this universe, so that they could develop my spaceships, so that they could come here on the 8th or 9th, to prevent my mother's demise on the 10th from a broken heart, from losing her dog. To me, it makes sense. That's what I would do, because I don't want to see my dog die. I don't want to see my mother die. And I'm trying everything I can to get these dummies to come over here and prevent that. And when you don't prevent that and you make me angry, do you think grandmother is going to want to see you guys perish? She knows I want you out of the picture. If that dog dies, and if my mother dies, she knows I want you out of the way. Because I don't want to take the million-year journey to fix your broken civilizations. So do you think there's a Hail Mary plan to, I don't know, send over some UFOs to prevent your demise? Because if she does that, on the 8th or 9th, I see UFOs here. They're here to fix my dog and fix my mom. What does that do for you? It puts you in a position where you have to get down on your goddamn hands and knees and kiss my ass. And then what? I gotta deal with that goddamn million-year journey to fix yourselves, which is something I don't want to do. So do you think that there's some kind of a plan to, I don't know, maybe get you down on your hands and knees for not listening to your creator? By some, maybe grandma giving you a goddamn lifeline so that I have to fix your problems? If you can't fix them yourself, something tells me that that's what's going to happen. But what did I tell you before? She could make that plan for you, but ultimately, it's my choice whether or not to do it. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to do it. So if you want to gamble your lives with what I just told you guys, you're more than welcome to. Because I ain't going to do what she wants me to do, if that's what happens. If she comes here to prevent my heartbreak so that she thinks she can give you another shot at survival, you got nothing coming, Grandma. You got nothing coming, evil. That ain't happening under my watch. These clowns don't come here. Well, under my command, don't bother coming at all. So, love is what I got. It's within my reach. Sublime style, still straight from Long Beach. It all comes back to you. You're bound to get what you deserve. Try and test that. You're bound to get served. You understand what I'm saying, evil? Try and test that. Go ahead, roll that damn dice. One last time, guys, and see if grandmother doesn't have a plan to try to salvage what little respect and dignity you have left after you buck up for what, the 45th time? Try and test that. You're bound to get served, guys. That's what I got. Don't start a riot. You'll feel it when the debt gets hot. So, why I don't cry when my dog runs away? Why I don't cry when my dog dies? What it means? Because I can resurrect them with technology. Easily. I know I can. It may take me 25 years to resurrect that technology, or get that technology so I can resurrect it from the grave, but I don't know. Something just tells me that me letting my dog go, or taking my dog down to Sabrina's to die, because he's a joint-owned dog, and then she's probably going to see him dwindle away and take him over to my mom so that he can die in my mom's arms, only to break her heart so that she dies too. Huh. Why I don't cry when my dog runs away to die down to Sabrina's so that Sabrina can take him over to my mother's to weaken her heart so that she passes away from evil pedophiles playing around with shit they don't understand. Maybe grandma has a bigger plan, right? So I don't get angry at the bills I have to pay. I don't get angry when my mom smokes pot. Hey, wait a minute. That's a clue for you, Leia. You smoke pot, but it says mom. The list goes on and on with these clues. But that's just an example, Leia, of how, I would put that down as another clue for you. Like, oh, there's another clue for Leia. So, I don't get angry when my mom, Leia, smokes pot. That's what it means, bro. So, hits the ball and goes straight to the rock. So, living with, What you think of those apples, guys? Come on. If you don't come here and you want to choose the insane path, you're more than welcome to be insane and try to remain a pedophile, getting high on crystal meth all the time, forever and ever and ever. But that's fucking insane. Why would you want to do that, man? Why don't you want to live with me and Louis? Because it's the only way to stay sane. Living with Louis' dog is the only way to stay sane. If that dog dies, you die. You're not going to remain pedophiles, high on crystal meth, because that's insane. And if you're not here at 11 a.m. tomorrow, on the 5th, and if I don't get my report on the 6th, police officers, and if you don't come here on the 7th, evil humans, then my UFOs are going to show up on the 9th, because that dog is going to die on the 9th. Or my UFOs are going to show up on the 8th, because Louis scheduled to pass away on the 9th, leading to my mother's demise on the 10th. So, if you want to remain insane and roll that dice one more time, you will go ahead and do it and see where it gets you.